Hey, what's up, guys? It's Oakley, and Sega/CA has just released a campaign trailer for Total War Warhammer. It's going to be from the viewpoint of the Greenskin, so very epic stuff. I think they've outdone themselves again with the trailers. These are just, masterpieces. Anyways, let's dissect this frame by frame. So our first introduction to the world is going to be in this initial panel where you have a wyvern flying over, and take a look at this campaign map. Boys and girls, this is beautiful. They've definitely brought the fantasy aspect to life and let the artists run with it. First thing that stands out to me is the sheer verticality of this. Much more emphasize the highs and the lows as opposed to traditional Total Wars where it's historical. Everything is kind of, flat and rolling hills. Here, nope. Getting away from that. Very jagged, much more extremes here and there. As we zoom in a little closer, you start to see the details. Bogs in the distance from the swamps on the left, volcanoes in the back right with lava flowing, and then even here, once you zoom in closer, look at the attention to detail. Again, in previous Total Wars, you zoom in close and basically all you're looking at is flat ground. This is not the case here. Look at this. All the details I mentioned, a watchtower on that ridge. The ridge itself is super high detail. This could almost be, representative of what a battlefield looks like. This is very cool. I love the attention to detail. Makes it have so much character and flavor, which is one of the things that they promised for Total War Attila. Warhammer. So I really hope that this is a representative of the game. And here we're zooming in on a greenskin settlement. And additionally, we're also going to see maybe what it looks like in the battle map itself. So again, this is tailored for the trailer, but it does give us an indication of what we could see if you were to engage the greenskins while they're in an encampment. So yeah, it looks like they're going to have a palisade wall ringing it around. No gate. Very greenskin of them. They're going to be the ones attacking, bellowing out of that. Fires all over the place. In the interior, you're going to have huts, armor, weapons, bones littered around, the banners everywhere. Very ominous, and it very much speaks greenskin. And I really do hope that we see similar art styles represented for the Empire, being distinct for vampire counts, for the dwarves. I really hope that they have each their own unique encampments. That would be very promising. And then as we zoom into this encampment, we're going to go up to this ledge, and we're going to focus here on a character, Grimgor Ironhide, who's going to be the main legendary lord, and he just killed one of his own men right there. So I would definitely recommend you go ahead and check out the full video for the audio here, because it is required. I mean, you have this little goblin who's tiptoeing over the corpse, and then he goes up to Grimgor and basically tries to say, hey boss, we're kind of restless, when can we go kill stuff? And that's kind of the narrative they have behind this, is like they then talk about the different places they can go attack. The voice is very well done, so they're definitely speaking to the lore and the character of the greenskin. So kudos to CA. I really hope they keep playing this out in the story narratives and all that. Anyways, now we're going to be moving into the dwarven territory. Very different from what we saw before. Again, the verticality that I mentioned previously is definitely present. I mean, look, we're definitely high in the mountains. Look on the right-hand side of the screen. That very much looks down low. Also, look at the details that they have here. You have these stone causeways, bridges crossing over areas of the terrain. Look at the Karaks built into the walls themselves. The cities very much built into the terrain. And geez, this is so flattering and so great. It just feels so alive, and again, like I said, it feels like an actual battle map with that amount of detail. I really hope this is not pre-rendered and this is what we see on the campaign map, because this blows me away. The Karaks there standing up in the distance. You start to see some burning, and so I hope these effects do make their way into the battlefield as the greenskins, start to attack these various regions. We're going to pause the frame here as the greenskins move towards the dwarfs. A couple things I wanted to point out. Look at the Karak there in the background. It is basically the entire mountain seems to be the Karak, unless that's multiple settlements, which I don't think it is. That entire mountain is essentially your settlement. So the Karak is the mountain is the Karak. Very cool how they did that. Take a look at the foreground. There is a smaller encampment here. These stakes, I don't know if that's a barricade you can build on the campaign map. That would be really cool if that's a feature. But I think it's more just a little enclave there with some, again, these details we see in the map. Very cool. Take a look at the left side of the screen. We see some burning watchtowers, perhaps greenskin influence. I wonder if that happens as the greenskins. Is that a greenskin watchtower, or is that just because greenskins are nearby? So again, the attention to detail is the first thing that springs to mind, and the high fantasy that's present in this campaign map. And man, oh man, does it look super good. Again, we get this little advisor guy, or not advisor, but this little guy suggesting that they go attack, more and more and more. We see a little bit more of the battle, and now they're going to be following along this river, looking beautiful. And the next target they suggest is going to be the Empire, and there you can see Call France defending a city. at the confluence of several rivers. So this is presumably going to be Altdorf right there. I really hope they have these fire and kind of under siege effects. This is something we saw in Rome 2 and Attila. When something was under siege, it had a little bit of effects, but nothing as visually impressive as this. So the graphics overall look amazing in this. The city itself, I'm going to show you kind of what this map is from the Humble Bundle, and this is kind of, if you look in Midland, and look where it says River Reich. Right at the confluence of those areas is exactly where this settlement is going to take place. So confirmation that it is in the game. So that's super cool. And then now this is perhaps my favorite screenshot of the entire video, a siege. Sieges are going to be super important, and man, oh man, does Altdorf look amazing. These huge walls. Take a look at all of these attackers coming in here. So first thing that stands out to me is these giant siege towers rolling up. Okay, so the Greenskins will have siege towers. You can already see them firing Goblin Doom Divers and catapults at the walls, so that's cool. And then on the bottom, I was trying to see if any of the Greenskins were able to clamber up the walls. It doesn't seem like they are. They're just going to walk up to the walls there. If you look under the Wyvern on the left, there is some sort of barricade up against the wall. I don't know if that's a huge ladder or just something that's been used to patch up the wall itself. I'm really hoping the Greenskins have more of a way to swarm up outside of just these siege towers, because they're all about swarming tactics. The city itself, look how deep it is. First initial wall and then a huge keep in the background. This reminds me of what we initially saw with that Siege of Carthage demo, and that proved to not be very accurate. So I really hope they're not teasing us with this one again. If it is to scale, then this is amazing. And it looks like there's another set of walls over in the back by the high ground of the city. So multiple levels of city defenses are definitely required in the lore. And man, oh man, I really want to see this in game. Super impressive. The Wyverns as well, flying over the walls. So, you know, of course, having the inclusion of flying creatures means that you don't just have to wait to take out the walls. You can actually fly advanced units and start harassing the city itself. The tower there in the center has cannons mounted on it. You can see in this separate screenshot, the cannons not only face forward, but also to the side, so they can rake siege towers coming in. Take a look at the what's happening here. So you have gunners in the foreground, and sort of two sets of gunners. So that's important because it means you have walls overlapping walls. We haven't seen this since the days of Shogun 2. So, you know, suppressing fire, multiple covered arcs of fire. Very cool, almost like the triple walls of Constantinople, Theodosian walls. Imagine this, but for Altdorf, and you're not holding back barbarians, you're holding back orcs. Very cool. Also, keep in mind that the walls seem to be very much larger than we saw previously. That's presumably going to be to accommodate, you know, the larger character models of once the Greenskins get up on the wall, but also just means you have more room for battles. I always thought that the historical thin wall ledges were kind of a bother and slow down combat, so I'm glad to see they're larger. Speaking of larger, take a look at the city street that we see here. Again, it looks like it's been made larger as the Empire troops are running away. So, you know, with all these huge character models, trolls, giants, spiders, if they get inside the city, you'd imagine they need space to move. So this is, I think, what this screenshot indicates, is that they're going to be having a lot of these larger avenues that you have to get through. It'd be interesting to see if they have even smaller, like, alleyways that only certain troops can go through, and then these main causeways that the bigger units have to flow through. That would be a cool way to kind of mix up the way you do sieges. Yeah, that's my takeaway from that. And then finally, the last place that they're going to suggest to go attack is presumably going to be up north in Nordsika, where there's these chaos wastes. Once more, huge fantasy being shown, these icebergs, ice mountains, volcanoes, lava. Look at the jagged rocks to the top. So in all these different stills, we've seen just how varied the terrain can be. These chaos warriors up here, no indication of any settlements. They just seem to be chilling out here. Maybe if you want to go pick a fight with them, it's going to be, I'd imagine you'd suffer some attrition with lava nearby. I wonder if that's something that is even represented when you, if you fight a battle near the lava. Is that going to be on the battle map? That's something to think about. And then here we see some more Chaos Warriors charging forward, looking just as glorious as always. But yeah, that's kind of it for the main show off of the campaign map. The rest of this is going to be this guy getting really excited about going to battle. Grimgor doesn't say anything, he just kills him. So again, just bringing this lore and this attitude of the Greenskins to life. He's then going to pick up his battle axe and yell out, Warg! And then all his guys are going to cheer with him. So I thought this was overall very exciting, very promising. I definitely love the aesthetics of this, and they're going to be having a playthrough that's going to be coming up. I think they said next week, so stay tuned for that. There's going to be a lot more to explore. I think we got the most out of these screenshots as possible, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, definitely stay tuned to my channel for more. But go ahead and check out that full trailer. It definitely needs to be something you watch live with all the music and the audio and the atmospherics. So go ahead and check that out. I'll link that below. Anyways, I will see you all in the next one. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions below, I'd be happy to try and answer those. See you in the next one. Peace out.